Shalom, shalom. As always, we're going to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim that scattered abroad, that's dwelling in truth and sincerity. With that, I say shalom, shalom. It's your brother Isaiah coming back at you again with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And this is going to be Genesis 2 breakdown part 2. Okay. And we're going to land back off where I left off at in part 1. And this is going to be Genesis 2, 8 and 9. And we're going to go over this again so I can re-clarify everything and so we can start fresh. Okay. And it reads, and the Lord Power planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Okay, and as we said, the garden eastward in Eden is the eastward in earth. Okay, because the Eden just means paradise, pleasure, and that means the paradise is earth, and there he put the man whom he had formed, and out of the ground made the Lord power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so we're gonna break down again, that go more into that tree, because it's not talking about an actual tree. So we're going to go back to Revelations 22 and 1. And it reads, and he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb. So it's not talking about an actual tree. It's talking about the formations of heaven, formations of the stars and whatnot, because where is the throne of the Most High? It's in the heavens, just as when Issachar could look up in the heavens and read it, because this is something they actually did, and we're going to actually get it. We're going to go to First Chronicles 12 and 32, just so we break down everything, and we prove all things. And this is First Chronicles 12 and 32, and it reads, and of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. So they had understanding of the times to know what to do, because why? They used to read the heavens, and so how do you count time? It's from the heavens, It says, and the children of Issachar were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. They had the understanding because they could look up in the sky and tell you what time it is. If the sun starts rising, you would know it's morning. When the sun is high in the sky, you would know that it's high noon. You could actually look at the sun and they could tell you what time it is. Just as we look at the moon and seeing when the Sabbath is issuing in, we still looking at the heavens to see, what is taking place. If we see that the full moon is that it's a full moon, that that we in half the month, and so forth and so on. Issachar used to tell the times by looking up in the heavens. So we're going to go back to Genesis 2 And we're going to start at 10. And the river went of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and it became into 4 heads. That's also how we know it was the Middle East, because the Lord said he put a river to go through the garden and parted in 4 heads, meaning it's 4 more bodies of water. Let's see what the four other bodies of water are, you know. And we gonna read that. And it says the name of the first is Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the second of that land is good, and there is bdellium in the onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon, the same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia, Salakia, and the name of the third is Hiddekel, that is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is Euphrates. Okay, so we're gonna get this picture right here. As you see, Gihon, as you see, Euphrates, and they changed it to that Hiddekel is Tigris and Pison. And we all know that Iran is in the Middle East. So that goes and proves to you that the eastward of Eden was in the Middle East, you know, because it says it parted to 4 heads, you know. And not only that, we're going to hit you with a precept. We're going to go to Genesis 25 and 17. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, in 137 years, and he gave up the ghost and died, and he was gathered unto his people, and they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as they goeth toward Assyria, and he died in the presence of his brethren. So we're gonna go back, and as you see, Gihon, right, Euphrates, Pison, and Tigris. And as you see to the right, it's Havilah, you know, and this is the old map, you know, of where things used to be called, you know. And that's how you know that it was in the Middle East, you know, the eastward of Eden. So it has to be the Red Sea, you know, because you see the Red Sea right there, where it got the line through Gihon, you know. And we're going to go back to Genesis 2, making sure we're breaking down everything. And the Lord power took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And verse 16, and the Lord power commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden they may freely eat. So if it be an apple tree or a pomegranate tree, you can eat it. The grape tree, you can eat it. The banana tree, you can eat it. The pear tree, you can eat it, you know. It says, and the Lord power commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden they may freely eat, you know, because you're supposed to have fruit trees even for the poor, you know, so they can eat, you know. That's why I say they may freely eat, you know, it's free to eat. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And you got to understand that tree of good and evil, you got to understand that's a tree you can gain wisdom and good wisdom and bad wisdom as well. But you got to understand, we only knew the good wisdom, you know, and I'm going to break that down more. But we gonna continue on because it's gonna come to the point where I'm gonna break that down, and we gonna go to Genesis 2:18, and how power said it is Salaki, and the Lord power said it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmate for him. A woman is a helpmate. That's all she is. A man is over the woman. A woman's supposed to help you through your day to day. She was created for you. She is not designed to be at a head position. That's the way you get your house in order. You are over her. You exhort your authority over her. That don't mean you treat her like shit. You know. But you gotta understand, she was created for you. You wasn't created for her. Okay. And it reads, and out of the ground the Lord power formed every beast of the field, every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see where he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names all cattle and to the fowl of the air, to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmate for him. And the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. So, and we gotta stipulate in the spirit, the Lord then perform an operation on Adam. This is not talking about he went and put on a little surgery outfit. Had his face covered with a mask. He was telling the other powers to give me a scalpel so I could cut him open and everything. No, this is not talking about in operation. It's symbolic that the Lord chose an helpmate from him out of his people. And we gonna go to gonna get a precept. Genesis 5. Salakia. Didn't mean to put that. Genesis 5, verse 1. It says, "This is the book of the generations of Adam, and the day that power created man, in the likeness of power made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created." So it really wasn't just one man, but it was many men. And he called their name Adam. And Adam had parents. The word Adam is Adama, which means out of the ground. This is plural. Them is plural. He said male and female created he them, and blessed them. Them is plural. And their name, plural. There is plural in the day when they were created. That's plural. All that is plural. So it wasn't just one man in the in the earth, because we all know Eden just means the earth. And we're gonna get another precept. We're gonna go to Genesis 1:26. And the power said, and God said, "Let us." So if this is Yahweh speaking, it said, "Let us make men in our image." Who was Yahweh talking to if he said, "Let us"? You gotta stipulate in the spirit. You gotta make everything match up. It says, "Let us." That's plural. And you gotta understand, God means Allahayim, and Allah equals power, judges, and Yum just makes it plural. And it says Allahayim, it means God's. And God said, let us, which is plural, make man in our image. And when was man made, you got to go to the 21st verse. Because you got to go to the 21st verse. It says, God created great wheels and every living, so like in powers, created great wheels and every living creature that moveth. Does not man move upon the earth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind, and saw that it was good. So is man and woman not a creature? Were they not created? Do we not move upon the earth? If so, we're gonna go to Second Esdras. I'm gonna type that in. Second Esdras 49. Oh, it's like 6:49. And it reads, then didst thou ordain two living creatures, the one that called is Enoch and the other Leviathan. He says two living creatures. One that's Enoch is a man, and the Lord called him a creature, and the other Leviathan. And we go, and did it separate the one from the other for the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together might not hold them both. So one was stayed in the water, and one was out of the water. And then to Enoch thou gavest one part which was dried up the third day, that he should dwell in the same part. So we dwell on the land. It says dried in the same part where there are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, namely the moist. So that means he's dwelling in the oceans and things of that nature, and has kept him to be devoured, of whom thou will and win. Upon the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth that before thee shall bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. In verse 54, and after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. We are Lord of every creature, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So we are a creature as well, And then we're going to go back to Genesis 2:22. Oh, it's lucky. 2:22. And the rib which Yahweh power had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. So we just broke that down. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she is taken out of man. And we're going to go to Genesis 29:12. And we're going to start here. And Jacob told Rachel that, just to let you know, that basically he took a woman out of our that resembled us pretty much. And we're going to prove it here. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebecca's son. They all are related. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said unto him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. So that right there tell you that he took a woman out of of our basically out of our nation, because we was looking for a helpmate, because you got to understand, man and woman was there at the same time, but he said it's not a helpmate from him. So the Lord went and chose a woman that resembled like unto us. And then we're gonna go back to Genesis 2 and okay, we read 23. Okay, and this is 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Okay, and verse 25, and they were both naked, and the man and his wife, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. The word naked meaning they only knew good, they only knew the truth. They was naked only to the truth and not evil. And just to prove that, we're gonna go to Romans 16 and 19. For your obedience is come abroad unto all men. I am glad, therefore, on your behalf, but yet I will have you wise. So you was wise unto that which is good, and simple concerning evil. And is when it says simple, because we say that today, you simple as fuck, it's meaning basically you ignorant. You don't know something, which what in this world, we'll say you simple ass niggas or something like that, because you don't know this, and we telling you, right? But we are simple concerning evil. That means we only knew what was good, so that tree of life of good and evil, we only knew what was good of it, and then you got to understand that serpent, when Eve was talking to the serpent, that's when he was giving her the wisdom of evil, pretty much. But that's jumping the gun. We gonna go down and break down Genesis, many chapters of Genesis going forth. But that concludes the lesson. Lord will that you was edified and you start understanding now what it is, that it wasn't just Adam, here. It wasn't just Eve here. It was all mankind here, all of it. But our name was just called Adam. So really we was the Adamites, because that's many. And with that, Lord will you was edified. With that, we're gonna give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim that scattered abroad, that's dwelling in truth and sincerity. With that, I say Shalom.